Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening. Identify yourself.
Yeah, I'm Kelly.
Oh, Mr. Kelly. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're
How you
just
doing?
about, I'm fine, thank you. We're just about to start the meeting. So
Okay.
if you're not speaking, please mute yourself, okay?
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. It is 7:36 p.m. Tuesday. At this time, I'm going to do a roll call. And for the people who are not on the roll call, they can introduce themselves after. June Prasad, I'm present. Adele Bennett.
Present.
Okay. George Tate. Margarita Vigilante.
Present.
Bree DeCasta. I know I saw her in the call. Bree?
Present. I'm here.
Okay. Shana Evans, sorry. Sonia Clark. Frederick Watson. Ruby Harrison.
Present.
Celia Bennin. Alexander Stewart. Alexander Stewart. George, I see you here now.
Yes, good
Okay.
evening.
Good evening. Alison French Kenton. Let me see her on the call. Cheryl Sanders. Okay, for those who didn't hear their names, I would assume they're not an official member, but I would like for you to just introduce yourself on the call. One at a time, please.
Good evening. My name is Simone Sylvester. I live in East Flatbush.
Okay, are you a guest or did you join the committee or are you just?
Just a member, just a person who lives in East Flatbush that I attend several of the meetings.
No problem. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Osley Lewis, board member.
Welcome, Mr. Lewis. Thank you for joining us. Anyone else?
Yeah, it's Brian Ship here. I spoke with Carol the other day and to help out with some of the sanitation committee
Okay.
work. So I need to file some paperwork, but I think I would be joining if I could. And so I just dialing in today to listen in and see how you all run meetings and everything, and just to learn a bit more. Thanks.
No problem. Welcome, sir. Anyone else who is on the call that's not a member would like to introduce themselves, please?
Hello, everyone. My name is Daniel Heredia. I'm from Councilmember Farah Lewis's office. I'm on as just to get notes and see how everything is conducting and to hopefully learn about what's going on with the community and address any community needs. Thank you so much.
Welcome and thank you for joining. Anyone else? Or did we cover everyone?
Hi, everyone. Detective Skinner from 6-7 Precinct Community Affairs Office.
Hi, Mr. Skinner. Welcome to you. Does that cover everyone? Mr. Kelly, did you introduce yourself?
No. Hi. Good evening. This is Mr. Lasagna Kelly from Blaze Seafood and Chicken.
Okay. I think that covers everyone. Okay. Welcome everyone again. Okay. The next item on the agenda is the chairperson's report. Good evening again. well, you all know my name. My name is June Prasad. I'm the chair of the Commerce Committee. I would like to take this time to wish everyone a happy new year. Looking forward to great things this year. Growing the committee and attendance is the key, and it seemed like it's working because I'm very pleased. I think this is my biggest meeting so far. Tonight we have one application to process. I was hoping to have a short meeting tonight because I'm not feeling very well, but we'll see how things go, okay? That ends my report. I think we have a quorum, if I'm not mistaken, Carol.
Eight.
How many we have?
Oh, you have,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of 13.
okay. Let's have at least, you need one more.
Oh, we need 8, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
No, Madam Chair,
I mean, 7,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
we
if
have
you have
7.
7 of them, if you have
Yeah.
7 of the 13, it's
You
a
need-
quorum.
It is a quorum, yes. Half plus 1. Yeah. Carol,
Yes. I'm
Carol, don't throw
sorry.
me off. Thank you, George. Okay. Yes. So we finally got a quorum. So we are going to approve the minutes of December 20th. Did everyone had all members, did you have a chance to read the minutes? That must be Detective Skinner. Did you guys have a chance to read the minutes? I need someone to move a motion to approve the minutes.
Madam Chair, I don't know
Yes.
if anyone got it, but I don't remember receiving the minutes. I don't know
Should
who
have got
sent it.
them last week.
I don't remember getting them.
They were sent out on January 10th.
Okay, I'm gonna check my email again.
By you, Carol?
Yes, it is, Mr. George.
Okay, let me check. No, you sent them out yourself, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she always does.
Okay,
So we're gonna move on and then we're gonna come back to the minutes if that's okay with everyone, right? Moving right along to new business. Tonight we have one application. And I am going to, this application is for Mr. Kelly, because that's the name that I see here on the
Yes.
on the 30-day notice. Mr. Kelly, if you guys remember, came before us 3-4 months ago, but never did showed up at the community board meeting to be voted on. He proceeded in submitting another 30-day notice to the community board, which it would have been nice if he just called the community board and asked what was the procedure, because this application that he submitted does not have his DBA name. It just have applicant, how you pronounce your first name, sir?
Lasagna.
Lasagna Kelly. It doesn't have, it doesn't have a trade name, okay?
Yeah.
I have to go by what the 30-day notice says, okay? Because I can't go back to the old application, all right? I don't know why you did not put your DBA name. Also on the line 18, it says here that you're 500 feet, is the premise located within 500 feet of 3 or more on-premise liquor establishment. You put yes. Can you tell me which 3 are you within 500 feet of?
500 feet from You mean like a business that's got liquor license?
On premise, there's difference.
On
There's
premises?
off premise and there's on premise. The question asks, is
Mhm.
the premise located within 500 feet of 3 or more on premise liquor establishment? You put yes.
Well, honestly, I don't know if they got liquor license.
Yeah, well, why would you put yes to a question
Yeah.
if you don't know?
Yeah.
Because the reason for this question, I mean, just in case you don't know, and this is why sometimes guys, you got to get a professional to help you do these things, because you're going to mess up yourself when you go to the SLA to get your license. It's going to affect you from getting a temporary license, because if you're, within 3, which you're not actually. The only on-premise establishment you're close to is Kendra Place.
Oh, you see? Because I got other business that's on my block that's got sell liquor, but I don't know if they got their license.
Well, this is why you should not be filling up your application, because you don't know what you're, to answer the questions correctly. However, you're applying for a full liquor license. Does your DBA name, was it registered, sir? Was it registered?
The what name?
Your DBA name, the name that you're doing business as.
Oh, yes.
It is registered, correct?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So I'm going to throw this out to the committee members and find out what they would like to do. Like I said, he has come before the committee before 2 months ago. Actually, the paperwork is different, because on that paperwork he had no for the on-premise, and then he had the trade name. I have to go with the present 30-day notice I have in front of me. So I'm asking the committee members, what would you suggest that we do?
Hello.
Yes,
Hello,
go
can you hear
ahead.
me? Yeah, I was gonna say, send them to Mr. Agar.
Send him to Mr. Who?
Agar.
Well, either way, that's not going to help us now. We still have to either do over the application, do over the 30-day notice, or, because it's not done properly. Yeah, it's not done correctly, and I cannot process it, All right, that's one suggestion. Anyone else? Anyone else has a suggestion? I can't see your hands if you're putting it up.
I say, this is George State. I say, I ask him to resubmit the request.
The 30-day notice.
Yes. Yeah, I would say he need to resubmit it properly.
Agreed. That's my thought exactly, but I just wanted to hear the opinions of the committee. Okay. Anyone else?
Yes, that's it. Yes, it's here to be submitted properly and have somebody helping.
Okay, so Mr. Kelly, as you heard, these documents, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the process, but exactly what you put on this 30-day notice has to be sent to the State Liquor Authority, because community board we don't approve a license. What we do is we give a recommendation to the State Liquor Authority. The State Liquor Authority is the one that approve or deny an application. You understand? But they base, we have the documents that we receive. In fact, Community Board 17 actually is one of the very lenient community boards in terms of processing liquor license application. And I say that vaguely because the other community boards, they have a whole lot of documents required. So, I mean, we're only asking you to complete a 30-day notice and complete it correctly. And you should
So the mistake that I made, can you email me so I'll correct them?
I'm sorry. No, I'm not supposed to do that, sir. That's not my job. Unfortunately, my apologies on that one.
So if I made a mistake, I'm only gonna know
It's-
when you
it's
like
not-
now, right?
Sir, it's not a mistake. You left out the name of your business. I mean, how would that be a mistake? That's a total, the name of the business. I mean, okay, you put in the application in your name, your personal name, Kelly, is that correct?
Yes.
And that, people do that. That's not a problem. But if you're doing that, Kelly would not be on your storefront. You have to have what's called a DBA, which is doing business as, and that's what's called what, Blaze, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes. Yes.
Right. But you don't have that on the 30-day notice. I don't know how they put that on the agenda. Maybe they looked at the envelope that it was sent, to, because that name is not here. And they supposed to go by what's on the 30-day notice. Okay? I'm so sorry, Mr. Kennedy, but we cannot put this forward to the community board.
I'll do it over, no problem.
Vote, yeah. And just make sure you do it properly and get the right information. All right? My humble apology. Our job is not to deny anyone, the process, the correct, but we have to get it done correctly. All right? Thank you. Do we have time to review the minutes?
Yes, I found mine. I reviewed them. But can we ask questions first, or we have to vote to approve them and then talk about them?
No, you can ask questions.
Yeah, I was just wondering, the way they're written, it's only the board members are, the dialogue is only between board members, so the other people that were speaking are not anywhere in the minutes.
Carol, can you address that? Remember, the last couple of meetings we just had, when you say board members, you mean committee members or just board members?
I'm sorry, I mean committee members, yeah, because I specifically, we were talking to, I believe we were talking to the detective, I think he was there, or someone from the police.
He wasn't there last month, you remember?
Was somebody, well,
Not
we were
last
talking
month,
about, oh, okay, all right,
he
because
was
we
there
were
the
talking
previous
about,
month.
okay, because we were talking about Lotus Lounge.
That was the previous month.
Okay, so last month we talked about it also, though, and we weren't talking, there was nobody there that we were talking to about it?
No police,
just
there was
talking
the
about
chair.
ourselves?
We were talking to the chair, remember? Rudy
Okay.
joined the meeting, yes.
All right, I'm sorry, I'm confused then.
No
Then it's
problem.
okay. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. That's fine. That's what we're here for. We're having discussion. If there's any, George, did you get a chance to review it?
Yes, I also found it and read it.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the minutes? If they are correct? And someone second?
I make a
Second the
motion.
motion.
Oh,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
okay, did anyone make a motion yet? I make a motion to approve them.
Okay, and may I have someone second?
This is Bree DeCosta. I second the motion.
Okay, thank you, guys. At this time, I will invite Detective Skinner. Are you still with us?
I'm on.
Okay, I'll open the floor to you if you'd like to address us. I have one quick question before. Can you give us a status update on Rutland Road? That issue that was brought to the inspector at the general committee board meeting, where the guys are hanging out by the subway. If you can recall, I think last month's meeting.
That issue, good evening, everyone. Detective Skinner from the 6-7 precinct. That issue was brought to us prior to the
meeting, correct?
Right, and it was also because the gentlemen, they also came to the community council meeting, but we were already aware of that. We have been doing enforcement over there.
Okay.
So there has been less guys hanging around. Obviously, there's 1 or 2 guys still hanging around, whether they go across the street on the other precinct side or not. But for the most part, we have been doing enforcement over there, whereby it's an arrest, or if we have to summons, or our presence alone cause them some discomfort, and they they leave. So we have
Okay.
no enforcement over there.
I'm happy to hear that because actually the business owner did reach out to me personally as well. Because we had begged him for some donation for the Christmas thing, and he was like, listen, I have a problem, I need help. So I'm happy that, it's being addressed. Any update on Lotus Lounge? Margarita, I'm sure you would like to hear about that one, right?
So the only
Yes, I
updates
would.
well, the only updates I have for Lotus, because we're working on, I've said we're still doing enforcement. We're still working with the other agencies. I know New Year's they had an illegal party there, and New Year's we did shut it down.
Very good.
After New Year's, I spoke to Sergeant Warren. I don't think that they had any parties after that. Because the thing about Lotus is we're trying to get in contact with the owner, and apparently like he was around at the beginning, and now when you're there, he's not there. It's like different people who's in charge. But they had a New Year's, they had a big it was like a car show type party there, and we did shut that down. Like I said, that's gonna take some time, but we're still working on that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good.
The floor is open to anyone else who have any questions for Detective Skinner, or if he would like to share anything with us.
Just some updates as far as we started off the year kind of rough. We've had 4 shootings so far. 2 resulted in a homicide, and 1 that we had this past Sunday. The potential person was apprehended. That person is still being in question. But the one that we did have last week, we have a person that's a person of interest in regards to that one. But we did start the year a little rough with that. As far as anything like around the area that you guys should know about, I would definitely tell you that if you guys, I don't know, you guys live in the area of like, let's say for example, Sector David, we've been having a robbery pattern that's been spiking up. We've had 4 within the past, let me see, within the past, I would say 4 within the past 20 days. And where we're seeing it from is from basically Linden Boulevard to Church Avenue, Troy Avenue down to East 53rd. And what we're seeing is that it's ladies that's being targeted, and ladies usually in their 40s to 50s so far what we're seeing. And just I know like at the public safety meeting or at the or like at the community council meeting, like some of the safety tips that we give is try to keep your important items on your person, because all of these incidents were purse snatches. One was one of the individuals wanted to pull the box cutter out on one of the female victims and demanded her wallet, and she reached in her purse and gave her the wallet. So that's something to just be on the lookout for and be aware of. Spread the word as far as to be on the lookout as that.
And Sector D, would that be Church Avenue and that area?
So Sector David, it's from Church Avenue. So from Troy Avenue down to East 53rd. So 53rd actually is Sector Eddie, but it mainly from Sector David is where we saw 3 of them.
So in the Flatbush Gardens area, how is that area doing?
Flatbush Gardens?
Yes.
Sector Boy. Let's keep our fingers crossed and knock some wood, but we've been all right so far.
Okay.
As the year started.
Fair enough.
We have again, with these stolen vehicles, I don't want to sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but a lot of these stolen vehicles that we've been getting, we had one 2 weeks ago whereby the gentleman went to go show a car, and he went to go show his vehicle, and he left the vehicle on, and instead of him going with the person for a test drive, he just trusted the person, and the person took his car. So again, we got to be mindful of leaving your car running to the store. It's really not worth it. If the car's running, I know a lot of people, it's wintertime, they want the car warm, but if you take the car for 10 minutes, it's not going to be that cold when you get back in it. So just be mindful of that as well. If anybody has any questions, I'll try to answer as best of my ability if they have any concerns.
Do you guys have access to like any sort of police cameras? And do you think that there's like, especially on the major corridors, are there enough cameras on, say, Avenue D or maybe closer to Eastern Avenue where some of these car thefts are happening?
Yeah, we do have Argus cameras. Those are like our police cameras, and we have some that have pole cameras that are in separate areas. So one of the things that we do is like when somebody does report a vehicle stolen, that's one of the first things we do is we do a video canvas to see what cameras in the area. Sometimes we get footage from businesses or private homes that people allow us to see their cameras, so we can actually get a description or to say, okay, what type of vehicle it is, what direction they went. So that's one of the things we do have. Do we have enough? I would think we have a decent amount, but
Next time, just identify yourself for the minutes. I think that was Councilmember Lois' office, correct?
Yes, that was Daniel from CM Lewis. Thank you, Detective Skinner, for that update.
No, not a problem.
The floor is still open for detectives.
Hi, it's Brian Ship here. If you don't mind jumping in with a question for the detective. It's interesting. This is my first time listening to a call like this. So interesting to hear. I think one of the first things that you commented on, Detective, was a monitoring of maybe some loitering or folks loitering at some intersection. I didn't catch what that intersection was. Am I remembering correctly? Is that something that your group provides?
Oh, that was
Rutland Road.
Rutland Road and like East 98th.
Okay.
Yes, that's that.
There's
corridor.
one area that I think has that concern is an area near where I am that had a shooting some time back now. I guess it's Glenwood and right near Nostrand. So there was a shooting there.
Glenwood and Nostrand?
Yeah, there was I think 4 individuals were shot.
Yeah, that matter of fact, that was some time now. I believe the 7-0 had ended up getting that number. As far as like they're the one that took the report for that. Yes.
Oh, district. Okay.
That was a few months back. If it
was, yeah.
Yes.
So that in that group, the whoever it was that took the bullets there, those were a bunch of folks that had been there for as long as I've been here, living in the neighborhood, 5-6 years. Some.
What store exactly do they hang out? Because I know the junction is pretty busy. If you can give me like I can try to reach out to the 7-1 community affairs, see if they can tell their guys about it.
Well, there's like a presence there now that the police officers are basically present on that corner,
right?
Almost around the clock. I don't. It might be that there's across the street from where the shooting occurred, there was a temple, a Jewish temple, and I think they also had a say in wanting to have more police presence there. But what my question is this, and I'm sorry I'm talking too much maybe, but my question is this: there's a similar phenomenon not far away from that corner, with a bunch of kids hanging out, probably selling drugs, who knows, in the kind of all day long. It's on East 34th at Avenue H.
East 34th and Avenue H.
Yeah, and I've never complained about it or noted anyone about it in any regard, but I feel like it sort of merits somebody coming by and taking a look and saying, "Oh, are these guys causing trouble or not?" I don't know. I haven't spoken to my neighbors or any of the block associations about it, but God forbid, those guys get shot too, or God forbid, maybe they were the ones shooting the other guys. But I think there's a little bit of a squabble maybe between the group on that corner and the group on the other corner. But anyways, it's just, I'm not sure, is this the right forum to raise that concern, or I don't know, is this something
to be honest with you, I know not everyone attends different meetings, so if you have to, if it's something that to look into, it's no harm to look into if it's public safety.
There's like a bodega right there at the corner of East 34th and Avenue H, and it's just basically kind of around the clock.
Okay.
Guys hanging out, driving cars, and
that is correct. I actually live near that vicinity, right next to the farm. Yeah, the
That's
pharmacy
right.
get,
That's right across the street from those big buildings that you can like.
right, yeah, right opposite the pharmacy, H and
Right,
34,
right.
correct.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll make note of that. I'll see if these guys can swing by and.
Is that still 67 or is
Yes.
it the
So
border? Okay.
so that's still us. When you go down to where the Glenwood Masonry is,
Yeah.
if you make the right, now you're going into the 63rd.
Okay. On Albany side. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Right. And then if you go down to the junction, is it Nostrand you cut off or is it closer to Flatbush?
So when you if you take Avenue H up, where we cut off like where that where the Chase Bank is, that little side
Yes.
street. That's where we
Okay.
cut off.
All right. That's where you cut off? Okay. Got it.
Bank
Mhm.
is yes, 7063.
Okay.
Is there any places like issues or concerns that we should
Yes.
Actually, my hands have been up. Is
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead, George. Sorry.
yeah, no, I just wanted to piggyback on what the gentleman just said about Glenwood Road. Yeah, 'cause the guys who are hanging out on East 34th and Avenue H, they started hanging out there right after the shooting, and it's some of the guys that used to be on Glenwood are the one that moved over there. Because I travel that area just about every day when I'm going to the gym. I used to walk down Avenue H because of the crowdiness on Glenwood by that candy shop over there. After the shooting, they moved to Avenue H, and I did report that right after that in one of the meetings. However, the 70th precinct have been present right by on Glenwood Road. So I walk on Glenwood Road because it's safer. Because when I walk down Avenue 8, it's kind of scary because they're hanging out there, as the gentleman said, all day. And when I come in from the gym, it's dark. So what I do, if I come that side, I make sure I walk on the other side. Because you could see, plain eye, you could see there's something happening there. There's some drug activity going on. Okay. Can't prove it, but it's more likely than that.
Yeah, you can smell it, George.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Adele, you have your hands up? Go ahead.
Yes, I do. I said, on my block, we have something going on. But the gentleman walks up, he waits for a car, he's waiting for the bus. No, cars pull up, they exchange something, he walks back up the block. I've been noticing this since summer. I've been watching him. I don't know exactly where he comes from. I believe they come from the house on the corner because we have squatters on the corner. And they come down in the middle of the block, not too far from my house, about maybe a house over. The car pulls up, they exchange something, he goes back up the block. And this has been going on for a while.
What block is this?
On Kings Highway between 91st and 92nd. On the north side.
Okay.
He just kind of saunters up the block and goes back where he came from. I think either at the house on the corner or somewhere around that corner, somewhere around that block on 91st.
And is this all day or the specific like hours that you normally see them in?
Well, I've seen him when I was off duty, or just home on vacation, mostly in the summer. And I see him every now and then in the winter when I catch him when I'm home. And then I see some people come down, they will go down the block, come back up the block with whatever they exchanged. There's something going on around here.
Okay. So Kings Highway 91st and 2nd. So you think it's do you think it's potential drugs? Do you smell any like you smell like weed in the area?
But I've seen maybe once, whatever he's doing, he's selling it. He's not using it. He's selling it.
Right.
Whatever it is, it could be crack, could be anything. But whatever he does, he exchanges for whatever money. He puts it in his pocket, going back up the block. He comes down in the middle of the block. Does his exchange and go back up that block, probably that house on the corner. There's squatters there. It's on the north side. He's not on the corner of 91st. That house is full of squatters. And my neighbor who lives next to them is suffocating from the odor of weed. He said it's coming through the wall. So whatever else they're doing in there, they're definitely smoking weed in that house. So enough goes through the wall. That's pretty bad.
It is, but unfortunately, we can't address that.
No. But whatever else is going on, who knows?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, unfortunately, the marijuana law is that weed, is legal to smoke. So
a certain amount, but if you got a ton of it, yeah, they can't sell it though. And I believe it's limited to a certain amount.
Because we're still waiting for legislation as to what they're going to do.
Legislate that because they put it out there and didn't put any legislation out. They should have did the legislation first before they let it loose.
I agree, but they released it and made it legal before they gave us stipulations for it, because a lot of people are driving and smoking thinking, oh, it's legal.
Yes, but that they did say you cannot drive and smoke.
Excuse me?
Yeah, they do it anyway.
I didn't hear that, ma'am. What was that?
It said they drive and smoking. They do it anyway. They don't care.
No, but that's what I'm saying, because people have this preconceived notion that it's legal now. I can drive and smoke. No one's looking. No one's looking at what they actually can do. Like, for example, where you can smoke a cigarette, you're supposed to be able to smoke marijuana, right? But there's still stipulations for marijuana. Obviously, you can't, drive and smoke because you'll be under the influence, like if you're drinking, like DWI.
Yes, but they're not looking at it. They don't think. They just don't think.
I mean, I think the problem is, just me personally, I think they should have put out the legislation before they made it legal. But, I mean, that's out of our hands.
Eventually, there are going to be lawsuits because some people don't want to be subjected to it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Adele. Anyone else? Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Skinner. Feel free to stay on the call with us.
No problem.
We'd love to have you here.
Not a problem.
I'll now open the call up to the representative Danielle from Councilmember Lewis' office. Would you like to address us, give us some updated information, or are you just observing?
Yes, I can give some remarks. Let me just, can you see me? I'm trying to figure out. Oh. Okay, it's working.
While you get yourself together, I'm going to take a question from Mr. Lewis. Is that okay?
Okay, that's totally fine.
Go ahead, Mr. Lewis, board member.
Sorry, good evening all. In regards to the Shirley Chisholm Recreational Center, one of the biggest things that I see that we need to push forward is building the capabilities of the contractors, or at least finding out what contractors we have in our committee, in our community, and their capabilities in terms of being a part of this project. All right, it's $141 million. 30% of it, at least, of $140 million is about 46, let's say about $45 million we're talking about, right? If we don't have the subcontractors and the contractors with the capability doing that, we lose that, because what they will do is write a waiver and tell DDC, tell the Parks Department they couldn't find those contractors. So I think we have to make a conscious effort to apply and recognize also and train the folks to be hired by these contractors to do the job. Everybody minimally in New York City has to have a 40-hour SST, which is a site safety training card to work on any construction project in New York City. This project also has a PLA agreement, which is a project labor agreement with the unions. It's not the CBA, which is a collective bargaining agreement. It's a PLA, okay? So you could have a firm that has his workers and he has to hire every other worker has to be a union worker. We need to have these discussions because this project is fast approaching and our community will be left behind because we do not have the folks, or we may not have the folks that know the ability, the capabilities to get their MB certifications and all of these things inside and get themselves vetted and pre-qualified to be on these projects. So we need to do some type of discussion, something, because it's not just throwing out something and believe you're going to get a job. The contractors have to be there, willing to hire the people in the community in order for them to work. Plain and simple.
Very important point, Mr. Lewis. Adele, I see you have a question. Is that a question for Mr. Lewis?
Yes, it is for Mr. Lewis.
Go right ahead.
Mr. Lewis, can you hear me? Mr. Lewis.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Can you get a list of the contractors of color in our community to notify them of this project?
You're talking about licensed contractor, obviously, right?
Licensed contractors.
Yes. I know of one I could actually refer.
Yes, we need to get a list together for the community board, as he stated, and refer them to this project.
It's not just referring them to the project. We have to see what their capabilities are first.
Yes. Is there
a lot of folks, it's not just the license.
Licensed contractors who know what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, this is.
What we could do, I believe. Okay. What I believe we should do is, what I might do is try to get in contact with our communications chair. We put something together and send out, and maybe have a meeting inviting all the folks. So they could come and they could be a part of a list that we make up. That's what I'm looking to do. Nothing particularly go and really guess them, but make them come out to the meeting so you could see them face to face in person. Right? So that might be something that could be advertised.
Licensed and certified, they can come to the meeting. The unlicensed certified one we can't deal with.
Well, I wouldn't say we can't deal with them, but we want them to come to understand the need to be licensed and certified. You understand? We don't want to ostracize anybody.
No.
We want everybody to come, and even if they're not prepared for this project, maybe for the next one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we don't ostracize anybody.
That's a good idea. Absolutely good idea. But yes, we need to get a list for us to get together with them to let them know, because some of them don't even know this project is going on.
So, Mr. Lewis, the Commerce Committee is hosting a business networking breakfast in April. Unless you want a separate meeting, we can invite them to that meeting as well too.
No, we could invite them to that, because I think the major part, the actual building work, is going to start, I believe, it's my belief, in the third quarter of 2023. So April is pretty good, and it's actually in the time when these contractors are really going back to work, really seeing their abilities and so forth. So they might be a little more willing to come out, because right now, where it's slow right now, and these guys might be sulking a little bit, you mightn't get the best reception. Once they get back into the spring and everybody feeling good and they're making a little money, they might be a little more receptive. So I think that breakfast in April is very good. We just have to advertise it and
Yeah.
add that we want input, in particular, people with capabilities in terms of construction, even architectural and engineering too, because all this is a design build project. So as it's going up, designs are coming in and so forth, and they might need those people that are qualified in terms of architecture, etc., etc. So we're not leaving out anybody. We want everybody to be a part of it and be able to give feedback, so we could move in a certain direction.
Mr. Lewis, can you get a flyer together?
Awesome, Mr. Lewis. Awesome, awesome.
Can Mr. Lewis get a flyer together so we can give it out to a few people?
I'm gonna reach out to the communications chair. Anything that has to do with flyers and anything, I think the best route to go is to talk to the communications chair so that she knows what it's about, especially when it's represented in CB17. We have to discuss with her first.
Okay.
And Adele, this flyer that you're asking for is seeking the licensed contractors and these
to let them know about this project, or let them know about the meeting rather.
Gotcha. Well, no, we're gonna have a meeting. We have a flyer for our meeting. We're actually working on that right now. I want to see how I can incorporate someone to actually be on the guest speaker aspect of this project.
Well,
It wasn't. Huh?
I know a licensed engineer.
Yeah. All right. So, Mr. Lewis, awesome. That's a very great point you raised. I know we had the big presentation at the meeting, and it was very informative and everything. And yeah, we need to get in on the ground fleet right now. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you for your input, Mr. Daniel. Sorry, have you waiting patiently, but the floor is all yours.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate your patience while I got my camera on. Good evening, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. Also, sign up for those that came a little bit later. My name is Daniel Heredia. I'm representing Councilmember Lewis of the 45th District. Hope you are having a great start to your year. I just wanted to touch upon a couple of new updates that happened very recently, actually. So the first one is actually about the Shirley Chisholm design process for the community center that's getting built. Today, actually, the design commission actually voted about some particular elements of the Shirley Chisholm area, like what kind of contractors would be doing the work on it, what kind of services would be provided within the space. So meaning like contractors who also for nonprofit services. That was also up for discussion. So we definitely want to make an open as possible process. And while the decisions around who is subcontracted under the parks contract and under DDC contracts is ultimately up to those agencies. And we, in the council, we cannot directly influence that because that happens under their own procurement processes. We definitely are making sure that they hear very clearly we don't want just other outside people coming in and doing the work in our neighborhood. We definitely want we want internal commerce to participate in this, both for the contracting in terms of the building, as well as nonprofit providers who will eventually do some of this stuff in the space. Second thing I wanted to touch on is that later this month, the council member is going to be meeting with the commissioner of SBS to do a tour. Now, it'll just be the two of them and some staff, but if, the main area that they're going to be targeting in the tour is going to be roughly around the Avenue D corridor, as well as the Utica Avenue corridor, to figure out how we can bring more resources and more advocacy for some of those areas. As what the council member has seen is that the Flatbush Junction bid, while it's important, gets all the love from the city and SBS, and we need to start bringing back resources, some of our old, other commercial corridors in the neighborhood. So that's going to be taking place, and at the next Commerce Committee, I hope to give updates on how the tour went and some of the key items that we're going to be trying to do. So those are the main updates from our office, and I'll put my email in the chat. before we hop off in case if anyone has some questions for me later, or if someone wants to ask me questions now, I'm happy to take a couple.
Does anyone have any questions for Daniel?
Good evening. This is Bree DeCosta. I have a question about the bids in which commercial corridors are being looked at in particular.
Go right ahead, Bree.
You said that you
I'm not
want.
sure.
Oh, you want
hear
to
you, Bree.
go on?
I wanted
or?
some specifics on which business corridors or commercial corridors you'll be looking at these bids for, because I believe in the past I may have reached out about specifically to Ms. Lewis about Church Avenue between, I want to say, Nostrand and Kings Highway.
Yes, so thank you for bringing that up. That is we're hoping. So we're hoping that will be part of it. So the thing is, we only get an hour and a half with the commissioner. So we have to make sure that we are able to fit in as much as possible. So hopefully, you know, maybe we'll be able to do 30 minutes on Church Avenue, 30 minutes on Avenue D, and 30 minutes on Utica. But we definitely, you know, we hope to visit some specific businesses, and we'll figure out what those are later down the line, as well as just doing like a walkthrough to figure out what, you know, where the biggest needs are from a city-wide, you know, initiatives. The reason why we mentioned Avenue D and Utica is that, you know, Utica has typically not had a lot of resources applied to it, and there's not really cohesive strategy yet. We're hoping to implement one, but you know, it's still, you know, it's not a tourist attraction, you know, which we're trying to, if we want to bring more resources and more business into the neighborhood, we have to make these corridors appealing. That's the council member strategy. So same goes for Avenue D. You know, the merchant association there clearly, you know, it needs more investment. We need to bring it into bids, you know. So that's part of the strategy. And Church Avenue is definitely, for sure, definitely is, we do want to continue investing in it. You know, we recently, the Flatbush Avenue bid and the Church Avenue bid just got merged. So that means that the combined, and that's Church Avenue, that goes kind of until Nostrand, a little bit past it. There's more activity that's happening on Church Avenue now that we're going to be participating in. And now after redistricting, the council member actually has the 50s in our district now. Before we were not, we had the 40s and the 30s, but now we actually have the 50s all the way to Utica Avenue. So hopefully going forward, we'll be able to do some more advocacy there. And hopefully for this tour, we'll be able to make it to that spot as well. So thank you for that suggestion. I'll definitely be bringing that up.
I have one more, Daniel, I'm sorry.
Go right ahead.
As for Avenue D, I know there used to be an HSBC bank there. There is literally no bank there now, and it would be nice to have a bank in our community. I mean, I bank with TD, so I have to go pretty far to, you know, do any kind of banking or go to Rite Aid to take money out from the ATM, but there are so many other banks around here that is like one that is just not present at all, as well as I think Bank of America.
Thank you so much for that suggestion as well. And I do know that, you know, although it predates me, it might predate me since I started with the member on June of last year. You know, what we definitely know that when the bank left and the space, it was definitely a major impact to the community. And, you know, our central Brooklyn districts are very underbanked and underserved. You know, it goes without saying. So last year, the member met with Senator Christian Gillibrand to see if we could partner, you know, federally, figure out how we can get more federal initiatives to bring more banks into our district. Currently, a follow-up is scheduled to see like exactly which banks would be interested in providing more services. We don't know which banks are the ones that our federal legislators are working on, but we definitely are trying to prioritize it to getting either a bank in that space or finding another space, or just encouraging in general more banks to be in East Flatbush, because as you say, there's not enough banks. We have to travel either to the junction or to Utica. It's not great. So I appreciate the comment. I'll definitely be forwarding that along as well.
And I think the reason why HSBC has moved is because they went out of business. Is that correct?
I think they train.
No, they didn't go out of business. They're not handling personal banking anymore.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Well, they are handling personal banking.
Over a certain amount of money or something.
It depends on how much funds they
They're
have.
handling only large accounts.
Guys, one at a time. It's George speaking and Margarita speaking. We can't hear you guys. One at a time.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to clarify what they did, because what they did is they sold the smaller accounts that they had. They sold all that to Citizen Bank, including and transfer them over. The larger account they still have, but you would have to go all the way to 65th Street or there to bank with them. There's no bank in the area. No, Georgetown is Citizen Bank. HSBC Bank, the closest around here is like Bay Parkway and 68th Street.
Yeah,
68th and Bay Parkway. Yeah.
There used to be one at the junction, but I guess no more.
Yeah. Oh, they sold them to Citizen Bank. They transfer all those accounts to Citizen Bank.
Got you. Margarita, you were saying something, or was it along the same line?
Yeah, it was the same thing, that it's just a higher level accounts.
Got you. Okay, Daniel, thank you very much. Very informative information, and we're so happy that you joined us today and continue attending our meetings. You're welcome. Moving right along, I'd like to move on to unfinished business. We want to get into the finishing touches of our business networking breakfast. We have a confirmed date of April, where are we? April 4th. Carol?
Yes.
Are you there? Yes.
Yeah.
So we have a confirmed date. I spoke with the owner of the establishment who is allowing us to do the breakfast. It is April 4th, it's a Tuesday. And it's from 9:30 to 1 p.m. So that's 9:30 a.m. obviously. We're going to start working on the flyer. We can do that offline. Also, I would like for you to send out the letters to those agencies that we had discussed before.
Okay.
So we can get a response since we have a date. And you have the location, address, and everything, or would you like me to give that to you?
I have it.
You have that. Okay, awesome. So let's get the letters out to the guest speaker so we can put the different agencies on the flyer. And just to recap, the agencies that we had so far was the 67th precinct, was the Department of Health, Department of Buildings. I think we did said SBA.
Yes.
SBS or SBA?
SBS. Small Business Solution, SBS, sorry. And now I want to add someone that will address the Shirley Chisholm. So we got to come up with someone, Mr. Lewis, that we can put as a guest speaker there to address that issue.
So you have Bomi Kim, who is actually the MWBE Vice President for McKissick, and the person who is supposed to be over in terms of the helping with the compliance.
Can you send me that information? Can you send me that information? By email?
I'll send you. I'll send an email with that information. Yeah.
Okay, and you can also CC Carol as well, so that way we can get a letter out to him. Now that we have a date and we have a time and we have a location. So now we just have to work on the flyers and then we can have that. The food will be covered by, we will be requesting discretionary funding from the community board to pay for the food, the breakfast. Are there any questions, anyone regarding the breakfast? Any addition or?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Yes, George.
Yeah, I was trying to, can you give the name or the location of the place one more
Sure.
time?
It's called Woody's. Let me get you the correct spelling because it's not just spelled like wood. It's some couple. It's spelled WOOZZY and it's located at 1133-35 Clarkson Avenue in Brooklyn, New York, 11210. It is in our district.
Yes. Okay, yeah, and I would put it on my calendar. So
Sure,
thank
please
you.
do. Thank you so much.
You.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Any other questions? Hearing none? Is there anything else anyone would like to comment on or open up? The floor is open just before we adjourn the meeting.
This is Bree DaCosta, Ms. Prasad. I just wanted to let you know that I reached out to a colleague that's a commercial real estate agent, and I just will probably give you her info or vice versa for the breakfast. I just wanted to let you know I had looked into that as we discussed last time.
Thank you very much. Yes, yes. Awesome, awesome. So the guest speaker adds up more, more and more. That's fine. Any other comments, suggestions? Okay, hearing none, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Well, Bennett, motion to adjourn.
May I have a second, please?
George State second.
I thank you very much, everyone, for your participation tonight. I did totally enjoy this meeting tonight.
Yep, totally informative.
Thank you very much.
Good night, everyone. Feel better.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Good night.
Hi, everyone.
Good night. Carol, me and you.
Yes. Do me a favor, spell the name of that club again.
It's WOOZZY. Did I say D?
Wait, okay, so it's 10. It's
no, it's 20. WOOZZY.
Okay, and it don't have an apostrophe S or nothing, just Woody?
No, let me look. WOOZZY. Let me look it up online, see if I have it correctly. Yeah, no, WOODZZY. Oh, I had it wrong in my phone.
Oh, wait, WOOD?
D, WOOD. ZZY.
Oh, two Z's. Okay.
Yes. Woodsy.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I had put Woody's.
That's okay. And it's Woody's Bar and Restaurant.
Okay.
So it's Wood ZZY Bar and Restaurant.
Okay.
Okay. And he only, according to the address, he has 1133 Clarkson Avenue. So you don't have to put the 35. You know what I mean?
Okay. And that's 11203?
11212.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, let's get the like I said, let's get the letters sent out. We could start working on the flyer. Like we have the name, we could put the name. I want the community board. I want the hello, you there?
I want them letters to the agencies. You just want them to speak on different topics?
Yeah, that's the, yeah, so let's start with the flyer first. The flyer, I want the community, we don't have to put those food things on it, okay? I
Okay.
want the, Commerce Committee, Board 17 present at the top, and in the middle, we're gonna put business breakfast meeting. And at the bottom, well, of course, you're gonna put the date, time, and, you know, location. And at the bottom, we're gonna put the logo of the different agencies, okay? The building department, well, the 67th precinct obviously is gonna be, the inspector would want him to talk about, what do we want him to talk about? Let me think about it while you.
I'm going to say you could think about that.
Yeah, while you draft up the letters, and the building department, and you know, and the health
You sure
department.
is that the SBA, the Small Business Administration?
Yeah, what did he say? SBS or SBA? SBA, right? Small Business.
It's Small Business Administration, right?
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
I don't know if I don't know if, but I guess I should get them to if they're gonna come. All right. Because I want to add this. What you call it? This Charlie Chisholm, a guest speaker from Charlie Chisholm. I don't want to have too many guest speakers. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, because then we'll be talking all the afternoon, all morning. But I mean, that's what it's all about anyway. Yeah.
To get
That's
it
what
out
it's-
there.
Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, so that's where we started, and you could send me whatever you put together with a flyer. You could just put those agency on there for now. Even if they respond, they can't come, we just remove them. That way we have an idea what the flyer look like, and we could tweet it or twerk it or whatever we need to do with it. You get me?
Can I get that to you by the weekend?
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I don't expect you to do it now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And how many can you work on that on the attendance? Like send, you know what you
didn't I?
Oh, you did? Oh, I didn't check.